Hey everyone, welcome to the homestead. You know, when you're building outside, you would think pressure treated material, right? Well, I built a whole lot of structures up here on the homestead, and I'm going to show you how I save money from buying pressure treated material and how I treat my own material. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's green or whether it's seasoned, you can still achieve the same process. I've got a couple of trees back here on that I'm going to cut down on a project that I'm working on, and I will show you how I prepare everything. I have built a cabin that you can see here in the background. I built an outdoor compost toilet. I have built a nice outdoor kitchen. I've actually built a quaint little chicken house and a hog pen where Porky resides. And I've also built a sawmill, which is sitting in this building right here. Now, if you guys want to see the complete bills on these things, you can go to our YouTube channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost, and you can check out, they're in the playlist. I've got them all put together where you can watch the complete bill from the beginning to the end. But anyway, so how do I do this? You know, I get a lot of comments off of the videos that I make. Why do I do this? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to remove all the material that you can, because this is where the bugs actually live, up underneath the bark, and they will continue to eat on the wood. It just provides them a place to stay, and they will continue to chew on the wood. So by removing the bark, it doesn't leave them anywhere to reside. So once I remove all of the bark, then I'm down to the wood. The next thing that I will do is I will burn it, because that helps to preserve the wood so that it will last longer. It's been done for generations, and it will also make it a little bit more waterproof. Besides the bugs, they really don't like, I guess, that charcoal taste, so it just helps to preserve the wood much longer. But like I said, the first thing you got to do is you've got to remove this covering so that they don't have anywhere that they can live and continue to eat on the wood. Another thing that you might want to invest in is some what they call bench vices, or dogs is what I call them. But what I did was I just drilled a hole in my bench out here, the size of this, and that goes down in there, and as you hammer it down, it causes this thing to lean backwards the farther you drive it, and it actually is like a wedge, and it holds your piece of material in place where you can actually work on it without it moving around or sliding on you. These were actually sent to me by a subscriber who was watching me do this, and I thank him every day that I use these, because I use them to hold basically anything that I need to work on outside. I've even got some holes in the workbench in there where I can use these inside the sawmill. For those of you that may not know, this right here is called a draw knife, and they come in different sizes, they come in different shapes. You can get some that are curved. This one I like, it's a 13-inch, because I can get quite a bit of material off of it. It's got a bevel on one side of the blade, and the other side is flat. You want the bevel side toward the material that you're working on, because what that allows you to do is that allows you to adjust your depth as you're pulling back. If you have it flipped over the other way, you can't do that. It ends up cutting down into the material. So you want the bevel side down, and then you can actually scrape and control the depth of your cut. Of course, like I said, a lot of trees strip differently, and this one basically is dead, has no moisture in it, so it's just basically flaking off what part of it does come off. But I'm getting ready to treat this post right now. This is pretty much how I've done everything up here. I'm going to go ahead and burn especially the portion that I put in the ground, because like I said, it helps to keep it from rotting as quick, and it kind of keeps the bugs away. And then I'm going to put some timber frame oil on it that will help preserve it. But another thing that you can do, like I did on this sawmill, before I stuck the post in the ground, I actually painted the bottom of them with tar. You can also use roofing paper or any material like that if you would like. But I find that this to be sufficient. Like I said, I've pretty much done every building this way. So this is just something that I picked up at Harbor Freight. It wasn't much, I think. It was like 59 bucks or something like that. And then you just go ahead and get it started like that. And then we will get the bottom. Well, I hope that this helps you somewhat. This is the way that I have done all of my builds up here primarily. This does save a lot of money. Like I said, it kind of makes it waterproof and bug proof. But I would especially coat the material that, or do it this way, that you're going to put in the ground. You can go ahead and do the whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and use some timber frame oil on the upper portion here so that it will match pretty much everything else that I've done here. Here's another hack for you. Save all of this material right here, because when it does dry out, it is great material to start a fire with, especially with the oils in the cedar bark.